How has your child's hearing loss affected your immediate and extended families?
Nick is an only child. It would be the influence, the effect of having a deaf child with a hearing mom and a hearing dad, and everything has changed. It's been 100% change about where we spent our free time for the first 5 years he was alive, or after he was diagnosed with deafness, and seeking out parent support groups, being involved with parent support groups, leading parent support groups, going to workshops and conferences with parent support groups or educational groups, going to sign language classes. For many years, our whole family focus was trying to learn how to educate, trying to learn how to communicate with Nick, and with that communication, all the parental teaching that occurs outside the classroom. The school only has them for just a short amount of time, and mom and dad have them for the rest of the time, the vast majority of time, and all the teaching that we had to do, with the big concern, of course, toward scary statistics about literacy and deaf and hard of hearing kids, and a lot of poor reading outcomes that they have, and how much time we spend on vocabulary and reading. The places that we've gone and the things that we've done that I never thought we'd do, the people that we've met, everything's been different about having a deaf or a hard of hearing kid in our family. Everything was changed. The extended families, you'd have to talk to them about what it means to have a deaf grandson or a deaf nephew or a deaf cousin. It's affected our relationship with them by putting a strain on the relationship early on. On the one hand, we are in Texas, and all the family is in Louisiana, or further away, 5 or 6 hours away. There's nobody really close geographically. So their opportunities to see Nick and be with Nick are limited because of the geography of the situation as compared to other grandchildren or other cousins or other nieces and nephews. And unfortunately, it's a pretty rare occasion when extended family learn, even if geography is not fighting against them. It's an unusual occurrence when extended family learn how to communicate with a deaf child in the family. And it took us me and my wife several years to come to grips with that, accept the fact that nobody on my side of the family, my mama or my daddy or my brother or my nephew or any of my cousins or any of Nick's cousins on my side of the family were going to learn how to communicate with him. Other than after he got to be 10 years old, they'd write a note with him, maybe. Usually it was more go tell him than even them attempting to write a note with him. There was some people on my wife's side of the family, an aunt and a cousin, that learned how to communicate with Nick, but that put a strain on the relationship. Several years had to go by. We had to just accept that it was going to be a deal where they weren't going to learn sign language. And it wasn't because they didn't love us or they didn't love Nick. It was a lot of work for us, and so that was just a lot of work that they weren't ready for in their lives, and because of the geographical differences and proximity and how much time they spent with Nick, it wasn't a priority for them. But for the immediate family, everything's been different. Where Nick goes to school, where we put Nick in school, where we thought about moving to, the communication that we have, the technology that we have in our home, from the emailing, the texting, and the phone he's got, and the captioning that we use. Everything in the immediate family was different because we had a deaf kid. And because we only had one kid, it was easy to make that deafness our sole focus.